Here we go. Canada in the red jerseys kicking off from right to left. The kick deep.
Stay.
Gathered by Chloe Jacquet with a long kick. Doesn't find touch. They're playing on the artificial turf here at BC Place. The ball can stick up a little bit. And there is Tessier. Good strong carry from her. French player on the wrong side, but crawls out of the way. Big tackle there on Menin. Now they go wide.
Advantage.
There's a player to watch, Fabiola Forteza, who knows this French team well. She's knocked it on. Who plays her club rugby at Stade Bordelais. So a lot of familiarity to some of these other French players.
Canada starting strong, putting the ball through the hands. Fabiola Forteza
First scrum.
really
Stability.
flat off that
Space.
line, but unfortunate to knock the ball on in contact there.
Nice attacking opportunity for France. There's the history of the head-to-head. France 1 up. Canada would love to tie that up. France also got Canada's number in the last Rugby World Cup in New Zealand. And that one, 31 points to 0. But Canada have won 5 of the last 6. The scrum's a little slow to get set there.
Good control, Red.
Just be patient on the bind until I say it. Yep. Yep. Okay.
Of course, both front rows need to listen to the referee, and
Patience, team.
Maggie Kagaroor will be our third commentator. We'll get to listen in on her. She communicates with the players from the middle.
Former club teammate of mine.
Born in Markham, Ontario, but moved to New Zealand for university and is now the development officer at the New Zealand Rugby Football Union for referees. So great to see her on the big stage. Just returned from Paris, where she refereed in the Olympics. Big scrum from Canada. They get it up, but it's well sorted out by Romaine Ménager. I got to see her sister run on for a 50th cap.
Come back, Red, retreat.
Kick and chase from Julia Schell. Nice long kick down the tram lines from her.
Blue, retreat.
Both sides feeling each other out with long kicks. Tessier's on it. She's going to reply.
Red, keep coming back.
Is it too long? No, it sticks up in the turf. Nice kick right down to the corner. Having to deal with it, and all the way back is Lina Keroy. She misses touch as well. So Canada now winning that battle, and inside the French half. There's an X roll there. And they build the attack. That is Emily Tutolsi. She's a massive impact player, very consistent. And Coach Kevin Roulet will rely on her. And there's a steal over the ball. Canada late to get there. Really good work from the scrum half. Bolden Sansu, but Canada's got it back. Looking for the offload. It was sent. Space on the outside, one-on-one battle. Fancy Bermudez gets the feet working. The crowd showing they're ready to get into this. If the women in red give them anything to cheer about. Quick pick from Roya. That's her job. She's a heavy ball carrier. Passed off to Castle. But Castle, so good on the ball as well. This Canadian pack getting driven back, and that time it is Gabby Vernier in the middle there. Nice tackle out wide from Sochat. Around the corner comes Bukaboom. Stop and go. Stamping with her feet. Seyu Manutafa offloads, and it is Tessier. Incredible start from the Canadians within the force for a minute. After Seyu Manutafa does an incredible job scything up the French defense.
Well, Paige Ferry's dotting it down, but wow, so much good work went into that in the phases leading up. France stole it, Canada stole it back, and look at all the tight little work that's happening. Look at the offload off the ground. This was Fancy Bermudez's first touch, footwork, power. But Canada, Tyson Bukaboom, captain, coming around the corner there.
20 seconds.
And they had France stuck. But Joshana Seyu-Manutafa with the footwork and the little offload for a nice dot down for Paige Ferries.
It will be Tessier to look to add the extras. Nice strike, flirting with that left post, tucks it inside, and she's got the distance, so it's a 7-pointer. Incredible awareness from Paige Ferries as that ball was whipped out to her. Look at the left hand, just gets free here. Didn't she do well to hold on?
Wow, the one-hand ball control and into contact while basically floating in the air. Talk about ball skills and control.
7-0 the lead for Canada. Combination of the backs and forwards.
Inside, wait, red, 3, no.
And the French
Thank
falling
you.
off a couple of tackles. Good attack from deep. Romain Ménager, 63
No,
caps to her
tackler
name.
first.
Vastly experienced. Currently playing with Montpellier. This is better from the French, winning a few collisions. Carrois goes wide. Not much room to work in. Is Marine Ménager. She's held up by the try-scorer Ferries. Lots of options out wide. Look at that French backfield. Deciding to cut back in field is Vernier. Good decision. She's still going. Again, those forwards hanging out midfield. Looks like a tactic for Gaëlle Mignot, the French coach. Happy to see her big forwards maybe wanting to stretch this Canadian pack. The pass doesn't go to hand initially, but Ménager picks it up. Offloads to her back row partner, Grau.
Leave it.
Canada initially put hands on it, but are told to leave it. Pass doesn't go to hand again.
Backwards.
It's gone backwards. Play on to the referee.
No, backwards through her legs.
Good shot. This is really good phase play from the French. Thought about an offload there, did Ménager. She's been everywhere in the first 6 minutes.
Under advantage,
And
blue.
her sister with a great footwork. Chloe Jacquet flipping it. Well, the ball's been on the ground a lot. It's been frantic stuff. Now the chip kick to no one. And there's going to be a late hit. The referee's going to
Number
come
9.
back
Diving
for
off feet.
off feet at the breakdown, and it's going to be Justine Pelletier who was penalized.
She went for it, but as Cogger Orr mentioned, she went straight off her feet. She called it early. France played a few phases there to try and gain that advantage, but as soon as that kick went up and it went straight to Canada, no advantage gained.
They choose to go to the sideline with that penalty. And there's some early dominance from Canada.
Okay.
Although now
This is
in the
the
red
middle?
zone very much are
the middle? You're
France
outside?
with a
Yeah, and I'll make her
line out
stand.
15 meters out.
Yeah, stay there. And come, please.
Last experience. Agathe Sochat, the hooker, 53 caps already. Nice work from her pack. They're driving, the legs are pumping.
Ball's at the front.
It's at the front, brought down 5 meters out. It's a ruck. Nice quick ball here early on from the French. The Coach Mignon will be happy with that, asking questions, and they're flirting with the line.
Let it come, Red.
DeLuca Menin does well to get under that ball. There's numbers out wide. Can they get it into space? They do. The offload going for the corner. Lawrence for France.
Well, straight off the line out, quick possession for France. Bourdon-Sansu was there and ready at every single breakdown, ready to move that ball, and Canada ultimately got stuck with too many numbers in tight. France had plenty of options out wide there. There she is, the number 9, moving the ball, and 3 options to play that out wide. Nice ball movement, nice control. A nice little pop from the number 15 out to her winger.
Ghislaine, it was interesting. Melly Laurence came back. She thought that ball was going right over the top. As a result, she was nice and deep.
Seconds.
Had enough room to work in to get that try. Nice left foot from the wrong sideline from her, but what a good strike. And it's through the middle. So France keep pace. Outstanding conversion. 1 try apiece, 1 conversion apiece, 7-all. High pass did well and a good catch and pass.
Stay blue. Thank you.
So clearing the lines. Ghislaine, quite an open start to this one. Two sides with strong
Okay,
forward
here's the
packs, but the ball's been in play and a lot of offloading out in midfield.
So you stay here.
Yeah, both teams playing
From this
similar
side.
styles to start. The forwards working hard, tight to suck in those numbers into the middle of the field, and both teams getting caught with not enough out in the backfield. I like to see both teams playing with that space, though.
That throw's not straight, and France pounce upon it. They look really energetic.
Tackle!
Julia has to come in defense for Canada. And you mentioned Bourdin-Sansu. She's been very quick to the ball this scrum half, releasing it. That one may have gone forward off a hand. And Ménager does well to stay on the field. And France not committing many to the rucks, and they're going to come back for that initial knock-on. But we get a little bit of help from their assistant official. Of course, they're mic'd up.
France really playing these wide channels a few times here, getting so close to the touchline. But Canada doing well, getting the numbers out this time to defend that and forcing that knock-on.
Well, Canada will hope that the scrum is a place where they can gain some advantage. In the recent 5 of the last 6 matches against France, they have won, and this is an area where they've done well and imposed themselves. We'll see as we get the scrum down here. Castle, Tutosi, and Menin in that front row for Canada. Up against Brosseau, Sacha, and Kalfeoui.
Out.
It's out wide. Oh, the delayed pass. Peltier around the corner. That creates the extra set of hands.
Backwards.
It's gone backwards. Just on the high shoulder for Julia Schell. Now it's loose again. Having to go down is Claire Gallagher. And the referee's team, the tackler, is on her feet. No ruck formed. And France will have the penalty.
Well, a set piece play off that scrum. Really good idea. Created the space, created the numbers, but ball to ground again. Maybe a little early nerves, but France came up the better of the two on that kick chase.
Lina Kiawa sticks it in the corner, so about 7-8 meters out. French line out, and a couple of quick penalties against Canada, turning the momentum after that first try.
Just keep the 2 meters.
And on the opposite side of the field from where their first try came.
Come in, please.
Line out about 10 meters out now for France.
Hit the target midfield, and is Faleu. They're driving. The referee's got her hand out. I think Canada's maybe come around illegally.
On the arm.
Yeah. On the arm. Are they going to go quickly?
Moles down by blue. Jumpers on the arm in the air.
Fabiola Forteza got up really well, but as you heard, had her arm on the player in the air. So another opportunity for France here. They look comfortable in these deep lineouts.
If we're going to compete, we need to stay on our side and not impact the setup.
Great talk from the ref.
Yeah. Maggie Kagaroa saying you can compete, but you got to stay and you can't pull that arm down. Let's see. France, they mix it up.
Yep.
And this time they do get the hand up in front, and it's Pambuisa off and running. The crowd love it. Huge defensive line out for the Canadian forwards, and now they got a hint of an overlap out wide. On the left foot.
Stay.
Michelle sticking into space, a wise decision. And Canada, who were back right up on their own line, and now looking to bring down Doy Jacquet. Just inside their own half. Nice offload there. And Bourdin-Sansu keeps it alive.
Yeah, play on.
Fantastic offloading. But this time it's Buisa in defense, knocking it loose.
Going backwards under pressure.
They're going to come back to the knock-on. But France showing us they're not afraid to keep that ball alive and ask some questions.
That's okay.
They want to keep Canada moving backwards, but Pemfenep Buisa says not this time.
I didn't think it actually made contact. I just thought it was a very light glance.
And just there was a big hand up in this lineout, and Buisa was on it.
Thank you. Knock on here.
Again, Fabiola Forteza got up and did it legally this time, but Pemfenep Buisa takes Canada forward. And then the little offloads from France, moving the ball really nicely.
Crouch!
But again, Pemfenep Buisa, third impact in a row, comes up with the big tackle to force the knock-on.
Well, dare I say it, the French flair on offer here in Vancouver. We'll see how that plays out. The front rows come up. Referees let him go on. Again, it's Schell hitting it hard from fullback. This one spilled forward.
I've got that tackle under. Advantage over. Stop. You're in front.
Using that left foot again, and there's the referee talking about players in front having to recoil. They can't just stay where they are. One of the new laws we're looking at here, part of WXV.
Insider 50.
Well, Chloe Jacquet's been busy. This one she's nudged. She's got it to ground. But a tough pass there. Kick and chase. Been really sloppy at moments from this Canadian backfield.
Turnover's
Shell does
good.
just enough.
Backwards. No.
In fact,
Stay. Use it.
Tafa does well just to secure the ball. Canada a little bit rattled at
Red
the back. They kick straight to the French attack. Jacquet out wide to Ménager. Ménager throws it off to the back shoulder, kills the momentum a little bit from Condé.
Stay here.
And there's that pod really wide are the French. And now they've got big forwards midfield. Clearly the strategy for Gaël Mignon and David Ortiz, the French coaches. They don't want to play in close where the Canadians are very comfortable. Referee asking them to use it from ruck time. Quick pick.
Let it
And
come.
up to it in the form of Tyson Bukaboom. Now the tight game. Having said that, Brosseau, pick and go call.
No.
Well done, Sansu on her own. She's into space, no one with her. She's chopped down eventually by her opposite number. Again, quick pick from the hooker Socha. Well, France looking really athletic. They're going to be penalized at the end.
He put her there.
Credit Laetitia Royer, I think it was, who got her hands on that.
Big defensive play from Canada there. Baudin Sansu with the break and looking good for all money to continue that, but Canada working hard to get back there. Alex Tessier with the big tackle.
Well, her nickname's Popo, which means a little bit fatty, but she's one of the smallest players out there. But look at that great footwork.
Yeah, Tyson Bukaboom a little late, but she used it to her advantage. Little trickery and really gets France on the front foot. But there's Alex Tessier, number 12, back in position, onside, and ready to make that tackle leading to the turnover.
Good line out from Canada. They execute. And Emily Tutosi's on the case. She's got 12 tries in her national jersey. And this is a well-formed up, thriving Maul. And now this educated crowd here in Vancouver are showing their appreciation.
Tackle!
Tackle complete.
Tackle, let it
ground.
come, let it come. Wait here, stay, 9.
Nudge through from Tessier. She's got it back. Alex Tessier brought down. She keeps the ball alive. Forteza. She spills it at the end. A great individual play.
That's not fun.
From Alex Tessier.
Canada starting to show some flair there.
Already played it basically.
And not just Alex Tessier getting it back, but look at the numbers. It's the little chip.
Mark's here.
There's 3 Canada players ready to collect that wherever it bounced, but Tessier gets it back.
Okay, just a crap.
And again, a couple little knock-ons from both teams.
Keep the water off.
But I like that they're trying to keep the ball going. Everybody wants the game to keep going, the play to keep going. And both teams are really trying it, and this is the best time to do it.
Alex Tessier, part of the French-Canadian crew on this Canadian team. La Belle Province, Quebec, as it's known in Canada. She comes from Saint-Côté de Horton, the famous Saint-Anne-de-Bellevue club, but currently playing with the Exeter Chiefs. As the French have a little look.
You're okay?
And Canada, obviously, without domestic club rugby, where you can get paid and the level and the skill isn't the same. A lot of these players are playing over in Europe.
Paige Ferries with incredible reactions there, getting the first try of the match, and then it was the French going out wide. Laurens touches down out wide. Great shot of these two packs looking to do battle. We're just coming up on the 20-minute mark here. As the score would suggest, it's been fairly even.
Set.
See if Canada decide to put some pressure on at scrum time. Here they come. Great work from the French forwards holding off. And they go to the right boot of Baudin Sansu.
Backwards.
Going backwards after Julia Schell can't quite grab it. She sticks it back. The kicking game for Canada has improved massively. That's one of the things you see with Claire Gallagher in the game. But also Julia Schell at fullback. So important in the international game.
Same thing. Keep coming.
All these players been working on that core skill.
Same thing. Walk back.
In the opening game
Stay.
of WXV here in Vancouver, it was England up against USA, and we saw the importance of a strong kicking game. It's Paige Ferries, your try scorer, dances through the initial tackle. Now they go wide. Wise decision from Tessier to not ship it. There is Claire Gallagher brought down. Fair amount of double tackles coming in from the French. They're working hard up the one. Look at that line speed, really pressuring the Canadians, and that's the result. The ball's being spilled midfield as Ferries scrambles to clean that up. Wisa offloads, deft little pass. They're not afraid to do it, and indeed encouraged by Kevin Rouet and his coaching staff. There's DeLuca Menin. She keeps going. The pride of Vulcan, Alberta. Now they've got numbers. A good line from Gallagher. Perhaps it could have gone wide. Peltier looking for options. Nice support through Fancy Bermudez. And it is Totosi powering the legs through. Peltier looks short side. Good footwork from Seumanu Tafa. A little bit isolated over the ball. It was Emeline Gros, but she lets go. Maybe there's an advantage here for Canada. They're starting to win these tackles. And they come back for the initial knock-on by France.
Well, Canada putting so much pressure on these France defenders. Every time a tackle comes, they are battling their leg drive, and it's gaining them an extra 5 meters each time, which makes the France defense have to keep going backwards.
Yeah, you need to take the hit, and I'll speak to them.
And look at the footwork, look at the battle.
Don't step back.
4 defenders to get her down, Seumanu Tafa.
Yeah, I agree.
And again, nearly a turnover for France there, but a slight knock on, and that's what we've come back for the Canada scrum.
Shosh Seumanu Tafa from White Rock, BC, about half an hour from here. In fact, my son was playing under 14s out there this morning. Also involved with Counties Manawakau. Very exciting young player. And her university just up the road, the University of British Columbia. So almost like playing at home here at BC Place as part of WXV. We're 22 minutes into this one. The inside pass, fantastic awareness. And it will be Fancy Bermudez giving Canada the lead.
Bread and butter for Fancy Bermudez. Canada tried that play earlier in midfield and hit Claire Gallagher as the option off of Alex Tessier, but this time from the blind side, look at Fancy Bermudez just hanging out in a massive gap for her to go through. No one's going to stop her on that run. The speed and the power this woman plays with. Beautiful try from Canada right off the park.
30 seconds.
Fancy Bermudez got a try late on in the match between these two as the coach's box loves it. Back in November, she got 1 try, but that one made very much by the experience head of Alex Tessier, pure class. She's now going to try and add 2 more, but the way she shaped that and dropped that ball inside, virtually indefensible. Alex Tessier made the try and adds 2 more. Canada lead 14 points to 7.
Talking to some of these Canadian players, they're excited by the brand of rugby that they're starting to play, and you can tell they're getting really comfortable with the open play, the creativity that they're allowed to play with, and credit to Kevin Rouet, who's created that culture, who's given them the freedom to do this. And it makes an exciting brand of rugby, and you can see how much fun they're having playing it.
Fancy by name, fancy by nature there. Well, France responded immediately last time they were scored upon. We'll see what happens here. It's a very strong carry from Gabrielle Senft, Castaway Wanderers player who's currently playing a rugby at Saracens in London. Originally from Regina, Saskatchewan. Some great players to come out of there. And she is continuing that tradition. As Letitia Royer is knocked back.
Release!
Referee demanding a release, and she gets it. And there's going to be an interesting call as the scrum half was played.
Take a step.
But the It's a new law they're looking at to try and protect the scrum half, but the referees
Leave
deemed that the tackler came
Blue.
from behind the back foot, so that's okay.
You pulled her in
Play
there.
on. Canada has their hands on it. A bit of energy again. Tessie, who's been really exceptional in everything she's touched. Good hands from Royer again. Bermudez winning the contact there. Nice short ball. Great interplay between these forwards. Now the pick and go from Tutosi. Another player playing it in England for the Exeter Chiefs.
Tackle!
Referee
Leave it.
deeming
No,
the tackle
no.
complete, and France have stolen the ball in that tackle.
Use it!
So they bent a couple of times, but they did not break.
Take him back.
Now a
Blue,
high
wait
pass
here.
going onto the
Stay,
left
retreat,
foot of
retreat.
Chloe Jacquet, the two-time Olympian.
Thank you.
She misses touch and with some energy comes back. Julia Schell, strong running, a big hit midfield. She's doing her job in the 15 jersey as well.
Backwards.
That one's loose. Jumping on it is Brittany Castle. Holding it up for Scrummy.
Wait here.
Now the chip over. Good decision because France are flying up midfield, but it's well gathered at the back
Insider 50.
by Lina Keroy.
50-22 is on.
And what a kick. 50-22 if that rolls into touch. Yes, there we have it.
Yeah.
Great skill, and it's going to be a French lineup. They go quickly. They're going to be in here. Canada's sleeping
I'm happy that
as Marine Ménager on her 50th cap gets the try for France.
Well, game awareness from France. They had the 50-22. That means it's their line out. And then they go quick with it. Canada caught paying no attention to what's going on. Here's the kick inside their 22. Rolls into touch inside the 22. And then look, the quick line out. Canada not paying attention. And easy as you please
30
for
seconds.
Marine Ménager. And that really is the awareness. It looks like Canada weren't even aware that it was going to be France's line out.
Well, in case there's any doubt, just then a high level of rugby acumen and rugby skill as the conversion is added by Chloe Jacquet. Initially, Lina Keroy with a great kick from inside her own 50. If you're new to rugby, and it rolled inside the 22, so it's then a line out for France. They took it quickly. And this is the standard of women's 15s rugby. It's growing with a World Cup to come at the end of this year, this season in England. So much excitement, and that is Gaëlle Mignot, David Ortiz, the two French coaches, going to be very happy with their players seizing that opportunity.
Yeah, and you mentioned it right after the Canada try that France responded immediately, and there you go. France responds with a second try, and we're back to even scores.
Wait, Blue.
Ooh, that one perilously close to being blocked. The finding touch was Jacquet.
Red line out.
Great. We talk about the importance of this whole tournament, inspiring young women and young men. She was inspired at age 5 to pick up a rugby ball after the 2007 Men's Rugby World Cup was held in France.
Come in, please.
So that's so much a part of what World Rugby's doing, not only this tournament here in Vancouver, but WXV 2 in Cape Town and in the United Arab Emirates. WXV 3, Pamphina Buissa in space. Brought down by the last tackler.
Good.
And I think Jacquet's stolen
and then
it
the counter.
momentarily. No, she's done the job and won the penalty.
She should have come away with
Despite the
turnover,
incredible break, Canadian
Holding on
support
the
a little
ground.
bit lacking there.
Big moment for Chloe Jacquet, and that's a little bit of the
15 is
Sevens
straight on the ball,
experience.
lifting.
One-on-one, open field,
That's her.
opportunity in Sevens. You got to be able to do it all,
Brilliant.
and she's proving she has those skill sets.
Penalty's going to be for not releasing the ball, as Buissa got into space, but not enough support.
Beautiful play there. Look at the tackle. Releases her hands,
That's the
gets her
middle.
hand with
Blue,
all the pressure.
on the
Canada poured in a little bit
Come
late.
this way. They're on the line. You guys come this way.
Here's that initial
Stay
break.
there, please.
Perfect
On the
pass
lane.
to Pamphina Buissa, but not enough support. A little too late there for Canada. Well done to France.
So tough for those French midfielders
No
knowing where to
contact.
defend off that line-out. The Canadian line-out strike has been really good.
Blue,
This time
wait.
they ship it back
Stay.
straight
Thank
into the
you.
boot. Quite content to kick down these tram lines. big carry there. She's much stronger than her size would let you believe. Paige Ferry's knocking over the French defender. The offload to Claire Gallagher, playing her rugby for the Leicester Tigers in the UK. Lisa is a fan favorite right now because she's had some really impressive runs here at BC Place. And Gareth Reese, delighted that you're joining us, and with Ghislaine Landry here in Vancouver, Canada, where it is the second match of WXV. England opened their account against USA, and Canada and France are going up here in what is a really end-to-end battle, both sides with 2 tries. 10 minutes to play in this first half. High standard of rugby. Tosi offloads. There's been a lot of ball in play here. There'll be some tired bodies at halftime. Running into space. Deceptive speed from Letitia Roya, who's been really athletic and really good on the ball. Ferry's brought down.
Advantage.
Tosi again.
3, offside.
Gallagher, there's an offside advantage being played. Canada can risk their hand here. They're going to go through Brittany Castle.
Under advantage.
Goat. Breaking one tackle. Releasing and picking up again is DeLuca Menin. This is a feature of the Canadian game. These big, powerful forwards. It's been knocked on, so it's going to come back for the initial penalty. And a big decision here. It's very kickable, Ghislaine, but I wonder what they'll do.
Yeah, in such a tight game, it'll definitely be a conversation.
Yeah, I will. So
Tyson coming in.
Because she's come, the ball is already out when she's played her. She's not coming through the ruck to grab us. Yeah. Okay, they're sweeping everything with like
clear decision from Canada. They're going for the corner. They want the 7 or at least the 5.
Okay, time off. Blue sub. Who's the sub? Blue 3.
And we do have a sub on the field. I'm not sure if that's blood, but Rose Bernadou from Montpellier comes into the front row.
Stay on this side, please. Same picture as them. If we compete, make sure we stay on our side. Don't impact them all.
Calfewe, who comes off. We'll see. She's getting on the bike, so I wonder if it may be just blood or something, but maybe a tactical substitution. Anyways, it's back to the action. Canada hit to the tail of the line out. They're crabbing across field. Tosi clearly has her right arm on the ball.
Use it.
Referee has now said use it. Pelletier wants it out. They don't want to lose it. If they don't get over, they have released it. And it's Menin. Great tackle from France in defense. Canada threatening, looking to regain the lead for a 3rd time in this match.
Take a step, take a step.
Quick pick over the top. Goes Letitia Roya. Great awareness from her through the middle. She gets Canada's 3rd try.
Well, she set it up with an earlier line break that gained them 20 meters, and she gets to dot it down. Beautiful work off the line out from the forwards. Getting Canada in scoring position there. Hit the tail right at the back, making all those French defenders move sideways.
Under 8 minutes.
And it was slow and back and forth, but they made it work, the Canadian forwards. And it started to break apart right there, and Canada squeaks through. A few more phases. There's Gabrielle Svent coming back in, getting on the weak shoulder, and the long, lanky Royer dives over.
Tessier, the right boot, pushes it, so only the 5 for Canada. 19 points to 14. Canada's starting to find a few holes in the French defense.
Yeah, I really like the dynamic play. There's Letitia Royer with the big line break. Look at those strides. But they're playing in tight. They're able to gain that ground. They're also able to move it wide. And it keeps the defenders guessing.
Well, the big second row from Loretteville, Quebec, getting it done on a couple of occasions there. And this forward pack for Kevin Ray, know they have license to pick and have a go if they want. Exactly what Roya did there. Another St. Anne de Bellevue product. Canada sort of marginally winning this kicking battle and forcing France to play from deep in their own end. Well, that's a nice clearance. She was outside her own 22, though, so we're going to come all the way back. Canada, in the last 5 minutes here, able to still put pressure on the French.
Puts her hand up.
Blue on the line.
Knows that was a little error. And a great opportunity for Canada here to go back to back. And we haven't even mentioned it, but Canada captain, normal captain Sophie DeGoody not here.
Yeah.
So these forwards know there's an opportunity to get the experience, especially in the back row.
Quick off the top again, it's Buissa in space. A nightmare if you're a French defender, although credit Vernier for a big tackle, but she stayed down, so France one short for the moment, but Buissa's also down for the moment. There's players out wide. 3-on-2, can they execute? Ball into space, around the corner, Fancy Bermudez for her second.
And there it is, Fancy Bermudez, the power runner in 7s, showing she's got it on the wing in 15s as well. But again, it came off the line out. Number 6, Pamphilette Buissa, putting her hand up in the back row, making defenders guess, making them step. And Canada working hard, both options on the ball. Great shot there. Look at all the options for the Canadian players. And they go wide, holding in those tight players. The footwork from Seimanatafa and the last draw from Shell, but Fancy Bermudez confidently running on the outside of that field right now.
It's injury, time off.
Tessier just pulling that one again, missing the conversion. We do have an injury on the field. For me, Ghislaine, so important, those forwards, we talked about them having license to carry the ball. But when they do that, they force the French defense to have to come in midfield.
These Canadian players have worked so hard to gain the fitness, to gain the strength, and it's taking multiple French defenders to get them down, which again is opening up some opportunity on the outside. And when you have finishers like Fancy Bermudez, you cannot leave them with that much space or they will score the tries.
Okay, perfect.
Celebration for Bermudez, but some of those big forwards doing the hard work midfield, which is why she has the space out wide. Canada have come to life here in the last 10 minutes of the first half. It's WXV action from Vancouver. And that is a tough shot there. It's been a very physical affair. Of course, these teams have 3 matches in 3 weeks.
Time on.
I think it's going to be a blood replacement. Lena Tui coming on for France. So less than 4 minutes to play. Canada up by 2 scores, 24 points to 14. As we mentioned last time out, they won a tight one in Auckland, 29 points to 20. Good offload. Fabiola Forteza has been everywhere.
Yeah. Advantage. Yeah,
Captain does her job. Advantage being played for Canada, and they're going to get the full penalty.
Never onside.
Not getting to the back foot, just then, and offside at the breakdown.
Well, so much right now is coming off the number 13, Seimanatafa. Her footwork and her agility to get around these defenders and move the ball is setting up Canada nicely on the outside flanks.
Captain will be happy. That is Tyson Bukarum, a famous name in Canadian sport. If you're tuning in from around the world, Tyson's family, huge in rugby, of course, brothers, cousins, but also massive enforcers and impressive ice hockey players in this part of the world. That's a big deal. Home of the Vancouver Canucks here in Vancouver. But thankfully for rugby, Tyson has the rugby jersey over the hockey stick. And her team are up by 10 points right now. Good footwork from Senf to avoid a big hit. Canada regrouping. Now they go out the back door. And Tessier, who's been almost like a second number 10 out there, she's directing traffic. That pass goes forward from hand to hand to first try scorer, Paige Ferries.
Too bad for Canada there because they had the space and they had the speed, and Paige Ferries out wide. Canada questioning if it was flat or forward.
Okay. Yeah.
Paige Ferries from Red Deer, Alberta. Another part of the country that is known for its ice hockey, but also a great rugby program there. And there's some of the stats showing how Canada's dominated with ball in hand.
Crouch!
A chance for France here. A minute and a half to play in the first half.
Guys.
Referee's going to reset that scrum.
Need to hold our weight. Okay. You help me with a longer bind. I'll get her to hold her side. Okay. Here we go.
Some detail there from
Reset, please, nice and
Maggie
quick.
Cogger-Orr, the referee, who's moved to the other side to make sure there's no shenanigans going on the near side of this scrum.
Surely never shenanigans in the scrum.
Crouch!
There is Pauline Baudin-Sansou.
Bind!
You have to think if something good's going to happen in this minute and a half. She may be at the heart of it.
Stay square, stay
Such
square.
an explosive player. Big scrum from Canada, and they won the penalty. It was dramatic foreboding, wasn't it, as the referee went over there.
And look what it means to those forwards.
Hooker.
They spend so much time in training getting those little details right, and when it happens on the field, it means everything to them. And it sets them up into beautiful position to end this first half with another scoring opportunity.
Well, Alex Tessier had a little look at the posts. As a penalty, it could have had a shot at goal, maybe a little long for her, but look at the power through those legs, driving.
Look at what it means.
Come in, please. Both of you.
We talked about it. It's an important part of the Canadian game when they're doing well.
Over the 15.
The line-out also working well here. Now they're driving through the middle.
Stay 18. Good. Through the middle.
Weiss is on it. She spun around. She's still going.
Tackle!
Woman who got her first Sevens cap in 2017 over the line. The referee's going to bring it back for obstruction. That try is not going to be allowed.
There's 2 players ahead of her obstructing.
Clearly, and they tow quickly. Guess who?
Off red.
Baudin-Sansou. Ball's in touch. And that'll do it for halftime. Wow.
2 players ahead of
Frantic
her.
end. Canada thought they'd scored, but penalty against them.
Halftime. Halftime.
Oh, fantastic rugby from both these teams in their first game here. WXV1 in Vancouver. High fives all around for the Canadians as they lead this one 24 points to 14 over France. Here we go. France get us underway with a low kickoff. Gathered by Emily Tutosi for Canada. The ball may have been knocked forward as they look to pick and go. The Canadian forwards through the middle there.
Lost forward on the ground.
Slightly messy start there for Canada. Tough handling when the ball's at your knees, but
great shot of the Canadian front row there. And for you Star Trek fans out there, DeLuca Menin hails from the province of Alberta, Vulcan, Alberta. So the Trekkies can be supporting the front row here. She has been outstanding. Made her debut back in 2015 against New Zealand. Has 55 caps to her name for Canada. But right now it is diminutive Pauline Baudin-Sansou who introduces the scrum. And Rose Bermudez is still in there in the 18 jersey. She's the only sub as Gabby Vernier has returned to the field after some blood treatment, and Tessier looking to escape, but she's chopped in two by Sochat. What a great tackle, and she's been penalized. Well, that's a bit of a momentum shifter. Jiz?
Well, Canada stole that scrum, got the ball back, but Tessier left with not many options and caught running sideways there, and what a tackle. And turnover to set France up here. And here's a shot, look, low, shoulder on, whew.
The player they call Gattu, playing for Stade Bordelais currently, obviously teammates with Justine Pelletier and Fabiola Forteza, who are on the other side this one. She had her head the wrong side, but the effectiveness was supreme. And they've won the penalty with a chance. Through the left boot of Chloe Jacquet to add 3 more, but they do not. She just pulls it. So it will be a 22-meter dropout. Interesting decision.
Yeah, dent 10. It's a 2-score game. It's not a bad option. If you get that, you're within 1 score. Unfortunate to miss that kick.
I think she thought we were going back to half.
This French team, sorry, Ghislaine, but this French team were 5th at the inaugural WXV, despite a famous victory for them over the New Zealand Black Ferns, 18-17. They lost to Australia and this Canadian side in that competition. Looking to go a couple better here, WXV in Vancouver. We've seen them very comfortable offloading midfield. And Canada has an incredible missed tackle rate.
Strip,
for
advantage, lost
having
forward.
missed 15 tackles. They haven't conceded a ton.
Knock on advantage.
Only those 2 tries from France. Nice footwork there from Vernier, who's back on the field.
Advantage over.
Advantage over. The 2 number 8s dueling it out. In the end, it's a bit of a hog tie from Gabrielle Sent.
Leave the 9. 5.
Canada now off the line.
Stop, stop, stop.
Another foul. So athletic, so big. Nice pass out the back, but it's a 50-50 ball.
Forward.
It's gone forward, but it looked like Bermudez may even have a chance at interception there.
She was set on that tackle, but there was definitely an opportunity to get it in hand.
Line out.
But it's the line speed from Canada that really forced France under pressure. Not just a strength on attack, but Fancy Bermudez is lethal in the tackle.
I heard the referee asking how many in the lineout. It is going to be 4 for Canada, but the big number 4, Tyson Buchanan, was in the scrum half position. So that means they're going to do this, bring it down and try and drive it.
Through the middle.
But France have disrupted well, a little untidy from the Canadian pack. The ball's on the deck. Chitosi says, I'll have some of that.
Tackle.
Chitosi from Souris, Manitoba, right in the middle of Canada. Played for the Calgary Hornets. Strong women's program there. Beltier has it squirt between her legs, but still keeps it away. And the ever-working Chitosi is on the ball. Again, ball spilled the tackle. So credit the French. They're putting the bodies on the line and jarring some of these balls loose.
Scrappy from Canada there. Trying to create something, but really stuck in that 15-meter channel there. And similar to the first half, how we started, a little loose with the handling, a little scrappy. They just need to settle back into this match.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Scrum was a bit of a problem for the French, and that one's gone down immediately. Referee wants it reset.
Okay, just slipped. Okay.
And we are playing on artificial turf here, so
let's get our feet underneath us.
Some of these French players, I'm guessing, don't play on a lot of artificial turf over in France. The footing is definitely different.
Let's get to that. Let's get the scrum up first. Wind up, please.
I like this management from the New Zealander, Maggie Cogger-Orr. She's been invisible in the first half, but really competent. Let the players decide it. And real good game management here. As we said, fresh off the Olympic Games, refereeing 7s in Paris.
Set.
They do scramble it away through Ménager. Now they go midfield. Late into space for the scrum half. There are numbers here. Pauline Baudin-Sansou backs herself from 40 meters. Pauline Baudin-Sansou is over.
Beautiful set piece try from the French. Baudin-Sansou, she started it. And she worked all the way around, got the underball, and then went to work. Look, the initial pass, she looped 4 players of her own team to get it back, but the seas parted. Canada defense was left stranded on the outside. Paige Ferry's left to defend 4 players, but look at the work rate and the speed to get around that. Beautiful pop ball. Put her head down, straight to the try line.
Baudin-Sansou, originally from Limoges, playing rugby for Stade Toulousain. That conversion's missed as well. So both kickers started perfectly, but they've gone off the boil. So still 5 points the advantage for Canada.
Again, here's that play. Canada had to pull in. They had to cover those tight runners or that ball's going tight. And it really just opened a lot of opportunity on the outside. Had Paige pinched in, they would have still had more numbers further out. So beautiful play, perfectly executed by France.
I'm sure the coaches will be happy with that, and we'll get the
Inside.
message on the gaps they're seeing off that line-out ball. Tessier, you had to
Inside
come
her
in and
50,
make
come
that
back.
tackle.
Keep walking.
Perhaps
Thank
we'll
you.
choose a different option.
Same thing.
With the
Red.
benefit of
Blue.
end zone camera review and
Backwards.
analysis. Julia
Come
Schill,
back. Keep walking back.
Ontario player from Uxbridge.
Come back,
and
Blue.
the Guelph Goat.
Keep coming. Stay,
That is
stay,
a
stay.
compliment. A strong
Thank you.
rugby program in Guelph.
Come back.
So as the first half started, we've started the second half with some aerial
Come
ping
back.
pong.
12, stay.
Well done,
Thank you.
Sansu. Hits Ferries, and the crowd cheered because they knew the Ferry wasn't going to kick it. She was going to run it.
No, 12, no.
She's done well. Good refereeing again. Managing Gabby Vernier.
This player on the wrong side.
And it is a French
The
player
tackler must
coming
roll
in the
before
wrong
you're on
side.
the ball. Not rolling away.
There's the blood
Merci.
just being taped up.
And I like the option from Paige there to get back into play, to keep the ball in hand. They had worked themselves into the French half. And now they find themselves on the 22 with a line out.
So Canada have yet to choose to kick a penalty. They've used Tessier's boot to work their way down the sideline. It's paid off. And there are both sides fairly disciplined in that first half.
No contest.
Line
Over the
out from
15.
Canada. Lisa looking to wrap around. She just spills it. Pelte's going to have to clean it up.
Lifted.
Picked through the middle. Again, they're catching the French sleeping there. And right through the middle again is sent. Relentless pressure. Now the backs. Paige Ferry's in on it, just a couple of meters short. Canada looking to open their account in the second half. It's released. Ferry's the short ball, doesn't go to hand. It was a risky effort trying to get it to Seumanu Tafa.
Player. First scrum.
It will be a French scrum.
And Canada was going forward. Maybe the option to keep going, putting pressure tight to that ruck because they were gaining yards.
Okay.
They were getting the French defenders moving backwards.
That is not the picture I'm seeing at the moment. But if I see her clearly stand up, that is penalizable.
And France had come up, look at the line speed. Really nice defense from France, forcing Canada under pressure.
Or on,
When we're on the fifth?
In
Yeah,
great
past
position.
you.
They knew they had to come off
if they go
that line
past the
close
ruck,
to their
yeah,
try
is it
line.
part of the ruck? Okay. Crouch!
Josh there in her 10th cap for Canada.
Bind!
And be on defense now.
Set!
Well, that's a solid enough platform, but they can't get the ball away in time, and they've been penalized. And if I was in the French front row, Giselle, I think I might be saying, hey, can we move that ball? We've held for the initial hit.
The second scrum that Canada has driven over, and Tyson, the captain, calls for another because she knows how dominant the Canadian scrum is. And look at the field position. These forwards are pumped. Look at the position, the connection. Immediately they had them moving.
Tyson Buchanan walked over there. She's played for the Aurora Barbarians in Ontario, but also the Cowichan Piggies over on Vancouver Island. And she gleefully let the referee know they wanted a big scrum here. And let's see if it will pay off. Her decision. Canada.
Set!
15 meters out. Scrum. Options both sides. Sanford 8 shifts to the gap. And they go left. Peltier keeps. She's 5 meters short. Quick pick and go, a set play, and they're over the line. And for the second time, it is Letitia Royer.
Well, she has been absolutely everywhere, but it's again off the scrum. Tyson Bukaboom called it. She knew what they wanted to do. You know that's something that they've talked about in training. They know exactly what they want to do on a setter scrum. options on both sides. But Pelletier gains good yards there. And the little pick, the France defense not onside, not ready to tackle. And a great set piece from Canada.
Ironically, it was the French front row who had Canada in some trouble, but I wonder if it's almost a bit of rope-a-dope as they didn't scrummage. As the conversion is good this time from Tessier. 31 points to 19.
Blue one.
Yeah, a bit of a set play for Canada going around the corner with the scrum half, and then they knew that it was pick and go time for the big girls.
Yeah.
Well, can France respond again? Tisha Royer, who plays her rugby at ASM Romagna in France.
Taken back. Wait, red.
Good to see her recover from an ACL injury last year. She has been forceful here. 2 tries and a ton of work on the ball. France into their attack now. Driving.
Tackle! Thank you, too.
Chip it wide, put the ball into space, but basically to nobody did Lena Carrois. Miscommunication there, but France have got their hands on it. So shot. Look at the dancing feet. So impressive, but her shoulder touches the sideline.
Red line out.
So credit the Canadians for getting across there and dealing with Nasira Condé. She loves tennis and she loves dance, and you can see a little hint of what she's doing.
Really well defended by Canada there. Not getting sucked in. They were covering the entire field. Defenders ready on the outside for that wide attack.
Canada wasting no time off the top. Big hit midfield and the crowd groaning along with Pamphouinette Bouissa. Nice pass into space, great awareness.
Release!
French having to release, and now Canada really getting into their rhythm. Pelletier with a bit of a 50-50 kick, but her teammate, not only here for Canada, but for Stade Bordelais, bails her out. That's Gabrielle. Gabrielle sent from Saracens.
Leave it now, off feet. Off feet
We talked
first.
about the Canadian back row, and Bouissa, Forteza, and Samt have been everywhere. So athletic. There's a French player down midfield, so they're going to choose to kick. In fact, the referee's going to blow it up there.
HIA call from the sideline.
Just to make sure.
7.
I think we've had an HIA indication. Our independent doctor has seen someone maybe with a shot.
Okay. Guys, the medics have asked me to stop. We're going to restart
The
with
medics
possession.
have said it may be Fabiola Forteza. No, sorry, it's going to be your opposite number. Emmeline Gros, who's going to be looked at by the doctor on the sideline.
Yeah, they do sweep everything.
So an HIA call from the sideline. Another player from France actually down in the backfield as well. So will it start back with a France scrum? And there's Tyson Bukaboom coming off the field. Congratulations to her. Running out as her first time as captain for Canada after many, many years of hard work and service for this team.
And also joining her on the bench there for a rest is Brittany Castle. Her 41st cap, she's put in some great work. So on the field is McKinley Hunt.
Crouch!
For the French will be Serafino Kemba on the field.
Set!
On for Emmeline Gros, who gets checked out. They go on the short side. There's the offload.
Advantage over!
Would our referee say advantage over after the knock-on? So Canada going to look to attack. Nice little extra roll. Seyu Manutafa.
Okay.
And it's Claire Gallagher who's going to have to clean it up. Referee's going to come back for an earlier
offside.
penalty. And Gabby Vernier guilty of the offside of
12
the previous
blue,
ruck.
never onside. Sorry?
Well, the quick change of play.
I know. I have to stand somewhere.
Fancy got the ball on this short side and moved it quickly, creating some opportunity for Canada out wide and catching France offside there as they had to work back. And look at the battle wounds.
In the trenches.
It's been a hard-fought game here in the tackle.
It's not pretty, but it has to stop that bleeding, and she'd rather be on the field, I guess, with the funny chin wrap. There we go. Blue got a hand to that, and it's been knocked on. And Canada will happily take the scrum rather than line out, I would think.
No, because I think she knocked it on because it's not straight. Scrum or line out?
Oh, so the referee's going to come back. This is one of the new laws because they were competing, France.
Yeah, it's not straight first, though. Yeah.
The referee said the throw wasn't straight, so because they're competing, it will be a choice for the French. Had they not competed the French, this is the new law, then it wouldn't have mattered. It's an interesting one of the 5 new test laws that we're playing with here as part of WXV. As it is, the French got a choice and they chose scrum.
Set!
So a few new faces in that front row. We'll see how it holds up. Canada's still coming through with the power of McKinley Hunt on the far side. Advantage to France. So they've won the penalty at the scrum. Now they're going to try and chip over the top. Can they take it in full flight? No, we're going to come back.
No advantage.
Again, great awareness. Seumanu Tafa.
Great defensive positioning there. France knew they had an advantage. It was worth a shot to go for the little chip, but well covered and defended by Canada.
And that is Rose Bernardieu in the 18 jersey. She's permanently on the field now, originally from the Rive d'Or club. Canada penalized for not driving straight up. Good kick there. More headgear. Canada still dominating with ball in hand. Again, almost double the meters gained. And that offloading game for Canada has really paid off. Line out to France. That one not straight, but no compete. Off the top. Truffaut. Ooh, they hit midfield. And the second row partner is looking out there, and it is Fall. Nice pass into space. The stop and go from Gabby Vernier. She's brought down 20 meters out. Quick ball into space again and running hard. It is Condé. Does she get it down? Yes. Try for Canada from Nassira Condé. Sorry, try for France.
Well, that is French flair for you. Beautiful play off that line out. They got the ball moving and they had options. Look at the runners coming. Canada defended well, but it was the extra runners coming around the corner that really got the Canadian defense in trouble and chasing. And still no Canadian defenders out on this near side. Great work by France.
Well, a great moment for Condé, and the last time these two teams met, she took a yellow card, which was crucial in Canada securing that 9-point victory. But a nice moment for her to dot down and get her team very much back into this match. The conversion for the left footer at a tough sideline is not good. So 31 points to 24, all to play for here. With 3/4 of rugby done here in Vancouver. It's WXV action, and the French have looked great offloading the ball.
Yes.
We knew this would be a tight game.
The new prop on this side.
And it is. It's the offloads and the work rate from the forwards to get around and create more opportunity. Left Canada sleeping. And the meters made for Canada, that means a lot of running for these players and perhaps a little fatigue setting in. But they need to watch and they need to keep up with that because France will punish them.
Inside.
Gaëlle Mignot, the French coach, loved that.
Stay 17.
She, of course, is part of the World Rugby Development Program, the MasterCard coaching program.
Okay, cool.
She's not only a great coach, but a great player, having won the Grand Slam, as they call it in France, the Grand Slam in 2014.
Make sure when
Six Nations. Teams there beside her.
I'll get my night to tell you. Yeah.
World Rugby investing so much in the Gallagher High Performance Coaching Academy. 11 recent recipients announced within that. Caroline McEwen of Canada, congratulations. She'll be part of that program to be the next generation of coaches as the Canadian backfield shows their skill level. What France are up to in defense. Olivia Apps on the field, Canada's inspirational leader. from the Paris Olympics, where her team won a silver medal in a massive upset of Australia and beating this French side on the way to a hotly contested final against New Zealand Sevens.
Offside.
Where despite having the lead late, they lost. And your old team just then, you must have been so proud, but also just so jazzed to see what happened over in Paris.
Oh, it was so emotional watching. The team knew and they were confident in their abilities, but it was a tough ask and the best performance they've had in the last 3 years, and what a time to do it at the Olympic Games to bring home a medal.
So
and one of the things that's changed a little bit from your time leading the seven side is this one squad component where we're seeing these players playing sevens and 15s and all working together, the coaches and the players, just to increase their exposure to top level rugby. And how about this young lady? She's benefited from it. 2 tries today, and absolutely a great product of what one squad can do.
There's a few players that we've seen, and I think early on there were some questions. Would it be good for the sevens game? Would it be good for the 15s? How would it work? And they've all proven that it works. And they've actually excelled in both sides of the game, both code sevens and 15s. Not all countries do it that way, but it's working for Canada. Their sevens program won an Olympic silver medal. Their 15s program is currently ranked 3rd in the world, has been ranked 2nd in the world, and are pushing to be a contender at the World Cup next year.
Well, we're going to go back for a penalty. And, off the ball.
Time on.
The television match official has intervened. That's one of the new practices that's in play, that within a couple of phases the television match official can bring attention to the referee. And I think it was an infraction at the breakdown, so France will have the ball and possession as the fresh legs start to come on the field. That is Alex Ellis, the former Ottawa GG, currently playing for Stade Francais in Paris, winning her 27th cap. The overthrow from France. Who's going to get it? It's Tutosi. Just pure determination. She beat the French to that ball. And the yards gained for Catherine Buissa must be incredible. Oh, deciding to go short side.
Wait here. Stay. Thank you.
Using the left boot of Claire Gallagher. Hanging it high. This ball has been in play. It must be incredibly tiring.
Timing's good.
For both these teams. The timing's good on the tackle, said the referee. And there's Liv Apps. Pick and go.
Let it come.
The forwards. This time France are up to it.
Red, wait here. Thank you.
Long kick gathered by the try scorer, Marine Ménager. Just 7 points down. She would love nothing more in her 50th cap than to have a famous victory for the French over Canada on Canadian soil here in Vancouver. The ball spilled forward. Credit Alex Ellis for the extra effort in defense, and she caused that fumble.
Well, France were looking really strong there. Some nice interplay, a few nice little passes. But again, the knock-on in the tackle.
Yeah, okay. Time off. Keep the water off, please. It's just a contact lens.
Well, there's Liv Apps. Obviously incredible exploits in Paris, but what a story for her that was kept fairly quiet. A couple of weeks before she was due to depart for the Olympics, her and her partner out for a walk with the dogs, and they were attacked by a cougar on Vancouver Island. I mean, your old teammate's a tough cookie, but quite remarkable. She was partially injured, but nothing that would prevent her from playing, but what a story.
Yeah, we had a few chats about it. She really just wanted to put it behind her and focus on the Olympic Games, which is a credit to who she is as a person and a leader. Didn't want to take away focus. But what a story.
Wait, Red, stop.
Pretty emotional event, absolutely, to go through, let alone right
Nice kick into space. Sorry to cut you off, but now Canada's in the ascendancy. Nice offload. Great cover tackling from the back. Faleo. We're going to come back for a penalty. Tackle, no wrap. Tessier thinks about a quick one. Is she going to go?
Tackling a player while on the ground.
Well, there was opportunity to go. A few of the French players were on the ground. The fatigue is starting to set in. This has been a huge match in terms of meters for both these sides.
Okay. Time off. Just hold the mark.
But look at the break.
Keep the water off.
First from Fancy, then again from Sayumana Tafa.
Okay.
But the numbers that Canada is throwing in great opportunity. It's too bad on that little offload.
6 and 14 Red are being subbed. We'll do those while we wait.
And a few more
6
subs
and
now.
14 sub.
And here we go.
6.
Caroline Crossley comes onto the field for her first cap. And Asia Hogan-Rochester comes onto the field for her first cap, for their first cap. Both of these players, sevens players, congratulations to them. So happy to see them on the field today.
You okay? We need to make a decision. So
There
I can
is
play on and you can wait.
Asia
or you can get a sub.
Hogan-Rochester. They are a product of Toronto
Okay.
Nomads and the Toronto Inner City Rugby program, which does incredible work there.
Yeah, we'll just let her get onside, and then I'll put the time on. Okay?
Today's Insta handle is Asia Breezes. Let's see if she can get the ball in space.
Okay. Time
And
on.
of course, Caroline Crossley, the castaway
Both
wanderer
sides,
from
9
Victoria,
units.
British Columbia, getting her first 15s cap.
Ball
A
over the
huge part of
15.
that success in sevens. She's in the middle of that pack as Canada go for the line. McKinley
Stay
Hunt's
up,
got her
two.
hands on it. In fact, Tosi's now got it. They're pummeling the line. 2 meters to go. France have come in the side illegally. Referee's given them advantage. Canada through Apps, go wide. Gallagher steps out of the initial
Did you get a
attentions.
number on her aim?
Quick pick, going for the line, but brought down. Apps again. Short ball, no one there from France. 2 from Canada. And it is Emily Totosi
Okay. And
restoring the 2-score lead for Canada.
I need number 5.
Totosi has been everywhere today, putting in the meters, working hard in the front row.
She's come around unbounded.
Off that line out again.
Okay.
Taken nicely in the air, and immediately Canada is moving forward strong. Staying connected, France trying everything to drag them sideways, but not able to stop. And Emily Totosi almost touched it down the first time. Just needed 2 more phases there to get herself back in the play. And a nice touchdown for Emily Totosi.
Nice conversion from Tessier to keep that scoreboard ticking over. 14 points, the advantage. Here we go, we're just keeping an eye. There was a yellow card after that Canada
Wait,
try.
red.
Professional
Okay,
foul.
stop,
Tessier,
20.
who's been outstanding controlling things.
Insider 50, retreat.
Back there again. And now with this 14-point
Inside.
lead,
Come
Canada
back, Red, stay here, 18. Stay.
with about 13 minutes to play. It's upon France to need to make up this 2-score deficit. And Chloe Jacquet knew that. And that Canada have won the penalty again, so things really turning in their favor.
Fabiola Forteza
on her
getting
feet,
stuck
and the
into
fifth
that
one.
ruck, creating the turnover. Getting the ball back at a crucial time. France has responded really nicely to a lot of these Canada scores. It's important that they keep that ball, keep possession, and keep playing their style of rugby.
So we did notice there was one less French player on the field. The yellow card was dished out here. As they're driving at the line, and because it's deemed a professional foul, coming in the side. Great work from our crew to give you that shot. So France will be 1 short for the next 10 minutes. Quick ball. Now Canada feeling very comfortable on the ball. And there is Crossley, such a big, powerful runner. Good hands in space. Hogan-Rochester. But the ball spilled and France have it. They go through the pods, through the forwards. Well, then
Use it.
Sansu has had to hit that ruck just to secure it as Canada counter ruck.
Ruck is okay. No advantage. You're scrum.
So it was knocked on by Canada. The counter ruck was okay, said the referee. We're going to come back for the
No
initial knock on.
advantage. Knock on.
Canada coming in through the gate there nicely from an onside position, so all is fair. Unfortunate to knock it on.
Okay. Time off. Who's coming off? 13. Okay. Okay. Yep, so they made a tactical for 7. That's fine.
So the substitutes continue.
Good.
Looks like Condé may be coming off. She seemed to be cramping up. It could be Alexandre Chambon from the FC Grenoble, the Amazons as they're called. Well, that's been one of the stories of the day, the scrum. Canada have won a few penalties there, but also set their platform.
Set! Stay square, stay square, stay square.
The French have been slow to get the ball away. We'll see if they can clear it. Yeah, he's not getting a clean strike there, so it's a mess. It's actually gone down. Lucky to get away with that one. Quick tap. 10.5 minutes to go. France needing 2 scores. Great balance from Chloe Jacquet. Just a great rugby player.
Ball's available.
Always seems to have space around her. There was nothing on there, and she's brought her team out of their own 22. Catch and give from Ménager. Doesn't go to hand.
It touched you, though, so we can't go quick.
And they can't go quickly because it touched the official.
Backwards into touch, red line out.
Well, mixed emotions on this one from Ménager. She got a try and got her 50th cap, but right now, her team only has 10 minutes to make up a 10-point difference.
Red.
It is plenty of time, though, for France. They've been responding really nicely, but they do need to get themselves down the field. They've been playing inside their 22 for the last few minutes here and can't get themselves out. Credit to the Canadian defense. Coming up nicely, staying together, and putting in shot after shot, which is creating more turnovers.
Contest, small.
Well executed line out. Forteza's the one lifting. They work the short side with the substitute scrum half. Olivia Apps, product of Lindsay Rugby Football Club, another one of the great clubs that's feeding these national teams.
Okay, yep. Time off, subs.
Going to have time off as more subs coming on the field. And it will be for France, Alexandre Chambon. And for Canada, Sarah Klein coming in for her 7th cap. Bourdain Sansu is going to have a breather. She's shown some brilliance out there, but probably just didn't have enough go forward from the pack in front of her.
Yeah, they've really gotten stuck here. And there is Pauline Bourdain Sansu and Emily Totosi. You can see the fatigue. This has been an absolute battle between these two teams. We knew it would be.
Just Totosi fighting for those loose balls and those extra drives. It just epitomizes what this Canadian pack have done. This one isn't over. 9 minutes yet, and French teams have done more with less. They need 2 scores right now. That kick into space takes a funny hop off the turf. Good awareness from Hogan-Rochester. She does well to judge it.
Turnover's good. First player.
Loose ball again. The stop and go from Vernier, who's been strapped up since midway through that first half. She's showing her pride in this blue jersey. Les tricolores.
No.
That one doesn't go to hand. Good speed off the line. It was McKinley Hunt.
Turnover
City, Ontario native, and she's stolen the ball back, or her teammates have. So the bounce is just going Canada's way right now. Oh, sit down. Strong carry there. Senf stepping out of an ankle breaker. Apps goes around the corner. That's been knocked forward. Advantage being played for Canada.
Yeah.
Crossley sitting down.
Under advantage. I've got lots of cover outside her.
Good hands there, and a fair steal from France.
Still under advantage. Deliberate knock on.
Deliberate knock on. Chip over the top. Still a high risk maneuver. We're going to come back for that, a penalty. The ball that was knocked on out of the pass.
18. Deliberate.
And she knew right away.
Cover, so it's only a penalty.
Great communication from the referee again.
Deliberate.
She knew right away, threw her hands to her head.
Shot called, 60 seconds.
And smart move by Canada here. It's a 2-score game.
From when you tell me you want to do it.
This penalty would push them into a 3-score game as the clock winds down here.
Just make sure who's coming.
And you can see there the shot clock going. 60 seconds from when the time they say they want to shoot that penalty.
We talked about one squad, how these groups working together in the background there and running on the tee. Jocelyn Barriere, a great player in her own right, but currently the sevens coach, taking over from Jack Hanratty. She ran the tee on for Alex Tessier, who's had an absolute blinder out here. She sticks another 2 points through. Gets to look up at the big screen just to check the score. She knows now her team is 17 points clear.
Good game management by Canada there. France really struggling in these last few minutes to get themselves, string a few phases together, get themselves out of their own half.
A few grins on the Canadian bench there. Maybe try not to get too excited, of course. This is the first of 3 matches in 3 weeks for these teams as part of WXV. England got their campaign underway with a big win over USA before this. Canada looking to put their first victory.
Knock-on advantage is over.
Coming up later, it is New Zealand and Ireland as the French trying those risky offloads and just not coming off at the moment. Advantage to Canada. Julia Schell moving into space.
Advantage over.
Hogan-Rochester. Route 1. Big tackle from Keroy, pardon. The injured players in the mix there. Referee rightly is going to stop it.
Backwards before that knock-on.
And for not the first time, a French player down behind play. And it's really been a physical battle, Ghislaine.
Yeah, a few times now players have been on the turf. There's been some big, heavy contacts. And the French players starting to feel it.
Yeah, it's going to be your scrum because you're in possession first when I've blown the whistle. Okay? We'll just get her off. So we need 2 to come back.
And everybody just taking a breath. The France player will leave the field. Hopefully she is okay, but she does look to be in a certain amount of pain there.
I believe that is Magnan Bigot, the veteran, the 34-year-old. Come on as a sub in the hooker role. So that will mean that Agasso Shot is going to have to go back in as a specialist hooker position. Bigot won a Grand Slam herself in 2016. A firewoman, professional fighter. You can start playing rugby till 23 years of age. And isn't it the world different, Ghislaine, that so many of these players in the French team started playing at 5 and at 7 and at 9. It really is now a viable option for girls in France.
Option for girls in France and starting to be an option for the girls in Canada. And what a difference this will make in a few years. There's Lena Keroy. She's going to stay on the field.
Okay, so both parties. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Leah.
Well, what a battle we've had here. And some Canada dominated on the stats board.
Okay.
Just 10 line breaks, costly for the French, conceding 41 points.
Crouch!
Total concentration there.
Fine!
Alex Ellison on the near side. Up against Rose Bernadou. Scrum's been really well managed by the referee today. Ferries, who's been outstanding, drops it out the back.
Backwards!
And on the field is Alicia Corrigan, another of the Olympians, the pride of Prince Edward Island. Canada's smallest province, but she's one of Canada's biggest players right now.
Turnovers.
And Canada just getting a little scrappy, holding on at the breakdown. France think about a quick one.
22, lifting.
The clock counting down. I'd like to see them just continue to play here.
Lena Tu is going to stick it down the sideline. Well, a teammate of Letitia Royer at ASM Romagna.
Okay. Sub off, subs. Okay. So this is the yellow card returning team, so that's why there's no one coming off.
So that yellow card penalty has been served by the Canadian, by the French, sorry. Hina Ikayagi back on the field.
Contest
Good line out
is
from
late.
France, off the top at the front. Two puts it wide.
Falling. No foul play.
Ooh, not wide. Canada holding their
Backwards.
line for the moment. Exposed on the end, but using that sideline as an extra defender. Lots of options, all the French on their feet midfield. Can they find a hole? 17 points, the difference.
Advantage, knock on.
It's been knocked on. Apps on her left foot, decides to ship it out wide. And why not when you get that kind of leg drive? And Gabrielle Semp has been outstanding as well.
Advantage over.
Made her debut back in 2018 against England. And it's her 27th cap. France, we're running out of time now, but a nice arcing run here. The ball in the right hand. She just can't get it to complete the offload. It will be a line out to Canada.
Well, the opportunity to move it before contact was on. Asia Hogan-Rochester was out there,
Red line out, blue on the line.
but they were frozen, and she could have just made that pass a little easier on herself, giving her winger the opportunity to run. Frustrating moment for France.
Guys, this gap is massive. No. Guys, the gap is way too big. Please stand on my AR. Come into the lineup. Get your front lifter to come this way, please. Thank you. Have it in.
There we go. Sarah Klein hits her target.
Ball over.
Canada been pretty precise at line-out time. One or two mishaps, but in general, they've been able to get this kind of benefit from all the set pieces. Big part of Kevin Murray's coaching attitude. Little chat on the sideline with Hogan-Rochester, the two 7 silver medalists, creating something on the short side, and Apps brought down.
Off the foot.
Off the foot. Again, great refereeing, good early communication from Maggie Cogger-Orr, the New Zealander. Her and her entire team have done a great job. Kat Roche, Amy Barrett, Theron, assistant officials. We don't often mention them when you don't have controversy, but they've done a really good job allowing these players to play a test match and decide it amongst themselves. Apps just bundled into touch. And Leo Colgan, our television match official, hasn't had to work a great deal here. Not many controversial calls.
HIA.
And we do have an
Blue
HIA
line out. Set now.
from the sideline doctor. And with a great performance from Canada, looks like going to pull out a win. Alex Tessier has been outstanding, but your MasterCard player of the match is Laetitia Royer. She's just seen it on the big screen. 2 tries, but worked so hard up front, carrying the ball, making the hard yards, and a big moment for her.
2 tries, as you mentioned, but the absolute engine of this forward pack that's created havoc for France today. Those turnovers at the scrum, all the work off the ball. Congratulations to her.
They'll be dancing in Lauretteville, Quebec, and in Saint-Anne-de-Bellevue, her old club. Maybe not so much in ASM Romagna, her current club in France.
Is 6 the one they want on? 6. Just a sec.
Both sides turning the ball over.
He's running
Canada
off.
winning that battle.
Okay. I don't know. Do they have someone on for the HIA? Because they
Just
can
getting
always return someone for something like an
Head
HIA.
injury assessment, that's what HIA stands for, the neutral doctor on the sideline.
So there's a
Sure,
player
Caroline
has been
Crotzy there with the
HIA, so they're entitled to
orange
return her. I
hairband,
suspect they've used all their
signifying
substitutes, so they're just trying to
a
make sure
big
that we get someone back.
weekend and a learning and
They can
celebration
return
day
someone for an
in
HIA
Canada
though, so I
as
think
the
they're
National
probably
Day
just
of Truth and
extending that for
Reconciliation with our First Nations
She's
communities.
been tactically replaced. She can come back
It's
on.
part of it, and all these players honoring that tradition. We are, of course, on the traditional lands of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples here in Canada.
Good. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's get the ball to the front. Get everybody sorted.
Caroline Crosley's
Just keep
father,
your 2 meters
David
back from me,
Crosley,
that way
very
keep you-
proud. I saw
Come
him
on.
before the game. Incredible player himself. Didn't quite get an international cap, but had the biggest calves in rugby amongst being a great player, but so proud of his daughter, of a dream couple of weeks as they were over in France to watch the Olympics, and now watch her in her first cap in an international jersey.
Counter-ruck is good.
As
Leave
Canada
it blue,
continue to
leave
put
it
on the
blue.
pressure, driving France
come.
back. And they're only 15 meters away from the French line. Nice footwork
Tackle!
from Sarah Klein, the replacement hooker. And Canada going through the middle where they've had a lot of success Now App slips it wide. It is Crossley from Victoria. So much disappointment not being selected for the Tokyo Olympics, making up for it in Paris. The big forwards who've worked hard all day have done Kevin Rouet proud. Forteza.
Thank you. Take a step.
Canada not going to change the formula. It's worked well. It's got them a 17-point lead as they look to add to it. In the last minute here, second half action.
Yeah.
Courtney Holkamp on the field. She's an important carrier for Canada. Ellis looks to go a little bit wider. France putting their bodies on the line.
Take a step, take a step.
Now out into space. Stop and go for Seumanu Tafa. Now wide. Inside, outside. Asia Hogan-Rochester in her debut.
Backwards for me, but if it's clear, he'll tell me.
Gets her first try for Canada, and look at the pain. Look at the work from those forwards, but it's the substitute winger who gets the try.
First test for Canada, first test try for Asia Hogan-Rochester. The forwards went to work on this one. They put in phase after phase tight, and then it was time to go wide. Look at the footwork again from Seumanu Tafa. Nearly gets there herself.
It has touched her hand, but I don't have it.
And then just a little step off the right foot puts Asia through the line. Nice quick ball from Julia Schell as well to get it out wide to Asia.
Well, they will not forget that moment for a long time. First cap and first try all in one. Tessé pulls that one wide, but 80 minutes is up on the scoreboard. It is job done for Canada. A bonus point victory. Celebrations all around for the women in red as they win this one 46 points to 24 over France.